you beautiful freaks? I'm EJ Leeson, and welcome to a brand new episode of FREAKQUELS. With me always, my co-host, and our Earth's anchor being, Rory Colorasi.
How you doing?
How you doing, buddy?
And for the record, you are my anchor.
You're this anchor. I don't know. Whatever that means.
You're both sinking each other.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
And also the podkeeper himself, his favorite lullaby is the whisper song, Young Vince. How you doing, buddy?
That is my favorite lullaby. How did you know that?
I just figured you were like into the Yin Yang Twins.
I am.
Yeah.
It is. I love that.
I knew it.
Thank you.
I had a feeling. And we have a very special guest today, author of the Cinematic Reel and host of the Reel Chronicles, as well as a critic for Rotten Tomatoes, Sir David Gonzalez. How are you, sir?
Hey, doing very well. Thank you for having me. I want to apologize first and foremost. Rory did not tell me that none of you guys have seen this lovely picture we're going to talk about. But I am as sick as the last 20 minutes of this film shows.
Yes. It's funny watching this movie. I mean, we'll get into it, but watching this movie, I'm like, I don't know if I'm feeling this. And then the last act happened, and I'm going, oh, I kind of like this.
That's usually the case. That a lot of my buddies that they're not really they're kind of into horror, that I've recommended this movie, and I always hype it up. I'm like, dude, this movie just goes in insane places. They text me about like an hour in, and they're like, guy, I'm not really feeling this too much. Like, it's okay, but there's really nothing like outrageous in comparison to other 80s horror movie. Like that SpongeBob meme comes up a few moments later, and then I get a text and be like, bro, what the fuck is going on here?
Exactly. I was like, what is this?
I'm still very confused by the whole situation and everything that happened. I still don't understand it. Hopefully you guys will be able to explain it to me.
We'll walk you through it.
We will do our best.
We'll try.
I'm still confused.
As much as we know, we'll try to pass that on.
Luckily, we have an expert.
Yeah. So one of our things we like to do is talk about like new movies that we've seen and stuff. So David, have you seen any new movies that you're pretty excited about, pretty pumped?
Yes. Ironically, a movie that it's probably my favorite film of the year. It will be out in September. It's called The Substance with Demi Moore. This movie is also a body horror movie that will be coming out. And this movie it makes society look like a Disney Channel original movie. The last hour the body horror starts pretty early in this movie. If you guys look up the poster to the movie, that's 20 minutes in, and it doesn't let up at all. It just, every time you think that the movie is not going to get more grotesque, it does. It outdoes itself, and then the movie pretty much reminds me of a little bit of Basket Case in the last 2 minutes of the movie, and when you guys see the movie, you'll understand why.
Yeah. Yeah.
Outside of that, it's been pretty laid back on my end. Outside of Deadpool and Wolverine that everyone has seen, that's The Substance is the last movie of significance that I wanted to shout out.
Yeah, nice. How about Young Vince? Anything new?
Nothing since you saw me but less than 24 hours ago. So no. I crammed in this piece of shit and the other piece of shit. You guys are killing me. Slowly.
Yeah, great. We're happy to do that for you, man.
Yeah. This is I'll say this though about this is on a twisted level of Terrifier 2. Just I did love the special effects, the makeup, the costumes and everything. I thought that was really cool, but yeah, no, this is not for me. This is why I don't. This is exactly why I don't like this genre.
Oh, interesting.
Okay.
Yeah,
you've had a few episodes in a row.
Where you guys are just
pushing you off the genre.
Exactly.
It's like Howling 3, Mimic 2. Here comes society.
Howling 3. Dave, have you ever seen The Howling 3?
Rory, no. Halloween 3 is honestly my second favorite Halloween film in the entire franchise.
No. I know, we've had this confusion before. The Howling 3.
Oh, the Howling 3. I thought you said Halloween 3. No.
Hey, don't. Let me save you some time.
Watch it. It's pretty great.
Dude, it's like a fun kind of bad. Like you can kind of riff on it, and
you'll just go, how did this, like, what
Get
was
made?
going on? Yeah, it was basically, you're watching it and like, what are these choices? It's insane.
So it's like
some
the
of them
rule-
weren't even choices.
Yeah.
Like things just happen in the movie, and you're like, okay.
Is it like
This
the
is,
room?
this
Is
is
it like the
considered a
room
film.
of horror movies?
Yes. It's like, there's line readings in this that feel like Tommy Wiseau in The Room.
Ha, that's
like,
great.
yeah, like
The classic. Go ahead.
oh, yeah. Well, no, the, what is the line again? I can't think of it now.
He's like, no, I'm dead.
Yeah. She's there's a girl. She's like, oh, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna like cross that rainbow bridge. He goes, no way. I'm just going to die.
So it's essentially
just
like
does.
Troll 2, Rory.
What's that?
The line from Troll 2. They're eating her, and then they're gonna eat
Yes.
me. Oh my god!
Oh my god.
Jerboa.
Hey, wait a minute. It's Troll
Yeah.
2. Next on Freakquels.
Oh, we're doing it. Oh, we have to do that.
Is Jennifer
That's-
Aniston in that one?
No, that's
of course
Leprechaun.
not.
Yeah. No, this
You did
Troll
that in-
2.
You did that in stereo.
We're like, no, Leprechaun.
You barked that at me.
I know. I'm sorry. But Rory, how about you? Have you watched anything new or exciting?
Well, on our last episode, we went over the movies that we had just watched.
Right.
It's less than 24 hours, so there's nothing new.
Yeah.
I watched some YouTube videos today.
Well, that's exciting.
I did.
Was it cat
Most
videos?
of them are cat videos.
Most cat videos, yeah.
Yeah. Did you tell David your thoughts on Trap? Did you guys talk about Trap yet?
Yeah, did you get to see Trap yet, Dave? I'm
No,
actually really
so-
interested because it's in exactly the way you'd expect. Apparently, it's very polarizing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't
For
get
Shyamalan.
So to my surprise, this movie did not screen for critics at all. There
No?
was not one press screening for Trap. I think they made it a point to invite influencers and not critics to screen the movie. So
Interesting.
I have not seen it yet, and with the whole issues going on at home with the move, I have not been able to catch it. But you kind of hooked me on your selling point on the Hitchcockian vibes of the movie.
Yeah. Like, it's weird, though, because, like, I'm watching the movie and I'm like, I really love this, but I could see a lot of people having all sorts of problems with it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, there's a really good review for it from Chris Stuckman. I feel like he really got to the heart of it.
Yeah.
I think that's worth watching to get proper context for it. But just anybody listening at home, don't ever listen to people on the internet, especially us.
Yeah, especially us.
If you could like just turn this off right now, you'd really be doing yourself a favor.
Probably.
Yeah, have more time.
Most like, yeah.
All that
live your
laundry you
life.
didn't get to.
Those kids you're neglecting.
Yeah.
Go, kids you're not feeding.
Hey guys.
Right.
But anyway, yeah. I mean, like, just I would just say like go and see it. It's Josh Hartnett is like 100%
It's his best.
the
I
best
think
thing in
it's-
the world.
It's my favorite Josh Hartnett performance.
Yeah.
Easily, hands down. Alison Pill is like
Great.
outstanding in
Yeah.
it too, and she's not in it a lot. And then we also have to talk about Salika Knight,
Uh-huh.
who played Lady Raven,
Yeah.
the singer. She was like phenomenal. I don't know, I loved her.
I thought she was a great performer. She was a pretty good actress.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And that's
She
all
was
her
so-
doing the music
Yeah.
and stuff too, which
So
is
like she's
insane. I don't
people
know.
are like really ripping on her, but I'm like I thought she was
I thought she was great.
as an actress she was serviceable. As a performer, like doing the pop music, like the Taylor Swift thing.
Yeah.
I thought she was great. So
Yeah,
I don't
me
know,
too.
leave her alone, America.
Yeah. Just leave her
Get off
alone.
her back.
guys.
Just
They
doing
will
her
not.
thing.
No.
But Josh Hartnett is really the reason to watch that movie.
Yeah. So last night I worked, and then I got out of work. I slept for an hour and a half
Nice.
since I've seen you guys. And I went to see Deadpool and Wolverine again with
Did
my
ya?
friend Pashi.
Uh huh.
And still great. Still love it.
Still love it.
Yeah, still love it. It's awesome.
Was there anything new you noticed?
I not really. I love going to see movies like multiple times
Yeah.
to look for stuff. But I think like I got everything pretty much the first time. There
And
wasn't
you stayed till
anything-
the end again?
Yeah,
Of course.
Of course.
yeah, of course.
I don't know. I haven't seen it. I
A
can't
little
wait.
like it's like an in memoriam to Fox X-Men
Yeah.
movies and comic book movies in general. Like that's one of my favorite parts of the movie. I was like, I feel emotional.
Me too. I also love when Logan, Hugh Jackman puts on the mask, he actually starts to sound like Wolverine from the cartoon a little bit. Yeah,
hey,
I think that's what I noticed this time, and I was like, oh, he sounds more like, the Wolverine we grew up with.
He looks cool.
He looks awesome. Yeah. But did you see Deadpool and Wolverine?
Who, me? Yeah, I loved it. I was during my press screening, they actually gave every critic the bucket for free. That AMC
that's awesome.
bucket. So we walk into the theater and there's tables, like 4 or 5 tables, just of buckets full of popcorn, and we were able to get one of those for free. I loved it. It's very much a movie that tries to rip apart the Fox universe, but also show its love for it. So I kind of appreciate that. Unfortunately, it didn't destroy the multiverse like I hoped it would, because
why, Dave? That's been such a hit.
It's such a hit. No, but overall, I
Everyone
enjoyed
loves
it. It reminded me of like Marvel's Tango and Cash, just like this fun buddy cop comedy that I had a great time with it. It's probably my favorite Marvel movie since Endgame, maybe. Because I've been
even over No Way Home.
That and No Way Home are probably fighting for the spot. I've been a lot lesser on Marvel since Endgame.
Spider-Verse?
Like most people.
As someone that has read Secret Wars, if it does what the comics did, it's going to reboot everything. So I'm crossing fingers that that's where we end up, and we kind of could just tell fresh stories and not have to have everything interconnected the way they have been trying to make it the last couple of years. I think it should have ended at Endgame, and everyone should have just gone their own way. But it is what it is. These movies still make $1 bajillion, so. And I think if Marvel should learn a lesson, I mean, we only have one Marvel movie this year, and look how much money it made because everyone was excited for it. Don't just churn shit out.
Dave, what do you think about RDJ as Doctor Doom?
So, I had heard a rumor from a good source at Variety a couple of weeks ago that this may be possible, but it wasn't 100% confirmed. So I kind of had a few weeks to process it in my mind if it did happen. I think, and I don't know if you guys would agree, I think it could work because this whole multiverse thing, if it's going to continue, my guesstimate is this version of Tony Stark or Victor Von Doom, whatever version of this Doom it's going to be, I do think that it does open up possibilities for some interesting storytelling with the Avengers having to face the man that sacrificed himself in Endgame to save the whole universe. And honestly, if we're playing with multiverses the way we are, would not shock me if Tony Stark as Iron Man faces Doom as Tony Stark in Secret Wars. And kind of like the whole everyone is doomed to repeat your own history. You can't really change your history. And the fact that Tony Stark is meant to sacrifice himself, and it could be that's where we end up in Secret Wars, that no matter what version of this, Iron Man is meant to die. Tony Stark is meant to die. So there's some interesting storytelling possibilities there. Plus the biggest one is Peter Parker seeing Doom's face and it being the guy that he adores and is his biggest role model. I think there's a lot of narrative possibilities there. And I do like that McFeely is back to write, because I do not trust the Russo brothers writing their own movies. So I am happy McFeely is back. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of potential here, I think. I know a lot of people that hate it. I get it, but it's funny that the loudest voices on the I don't know if you guys feel the same way. The loudest voices on the RDJ casting have been the people that normally shit on Marvel movies. Like, dude, you don't even care about this stuff. Let us have fun. Let us just enjoy what we enjoy.
Where else am I going to complain if not on the internet?
Exactly.
I'll say this. There's a couple instances throughout the last, I would say, like 20, 25 years, where they would announce somebody, Heath Ledger being the best example of this. Yeah. I was like, well, how's that going to work? And then I saw the movie, and I'm like, I'll never question things again. Yeah. I think sometimes you really just have to let the movie speak for itself, let the performance speak for itself, Like everybody getting all fired up and just being like, it's not going to work, it's going to kill Marvel. I'm like, shut up, just watch the movie.
That's a good one. The last one I saw that had this much backlash is when Pattinson got cast as Batman, and I loved it because I had already been really into Pattinson's work after Twilight, all the indie stuff he's been doing, like Good Time with the Safdies. I'm like, and and then The Rover, and then The Lighthouse. I'm like, this guy's a fucking great actor. I kind of like this move. And then I saw the Batman, and everyone that hated on it, that I personally know, just changed their tune about it. I'm like, oh, he's not that bad. I'm like, no fucking shit, man. Of course he's not that bad. Watch other movies. With Twilight, everyone has a bad moment in their career. He made money in Twilight, he moved on. The other one was Michael Keaton, like in 1989. Like we just did a podcast that you were on, Rory, about Keaton being cast as Batman, and everyone was like, the guy from Mr. Mom? I'm like,
Fuck that.
fuck that. Okay. And then look at what it turned out to be. To me, he's still my favorite Batman, so.
Yeah. It's again, it's just one of those things where people just want to automatically pronounce things dead on the scene.
Yeah, dead on arrival.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know, just see the movie and then make your decision. You know what I mean? It's a weird choice for sure. Like I remember reading about it and being like, oh, okay, interesting. Mm-hmm. But I mean, Robert Downey Jr. is brilliant.
I also trust that he wouldn't sign on to something that I don't think he's looking for a cash grab.
At this point, I can't imagine he needs any more money.
But that's kind of my point, is that I feel I trust him to do justice to whatever role he's going to play in this.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I do think.
I think him winning the Oscar kind of justified his feelings of like being an actor. You know what I mean? Yeah. And he did something a lot of actors try to achieve and try to aspire to, is win like an Oscar. So I think winning that, he was like, I'm gonna do whatever now.
Whatever,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm only gonna do projects that I want to do. Yeah,
and I do think you're right in the sense that he would. I don't think he would just sign on to do anything.
Just to grab,
for like money. I think he was like, okay, what's
also depends on how big that check is too.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's like, I want an Oscar now. If you pay me that amount of money, I'll do whatever.
I'll come back for this number of zeros.
Yes, yeah.
Add one more.
Yeah, I mean, attaching Academy Award winner to your name on like a movie trailer now, that's just like 12 extra zeros for him. So I do
exactly.
Guy's gonna get paid.
Yeah.
I hope they put the like Academy Award winner for Barbenheimer.
Yeah, for Barbenheimer.
That's what I hope they market it as.
For Barbenheimer. I know a lot of people were kind of bummed about Cillian Murphy not getting cast, but at the same time, I'm cool. I don't know. I'm with whatever. I'm excited for.
I think Oppenheimer's probably the most blockbuster we'll ever get Cillian Murphy again after Batman Begins, and the Dark Knight trilogy. I think he kind of settled into his indie work after the Dark Knight trilogy. But I mean, I love Cillian. That would have been a really good choice.
Yeah.
He'll probably do another TV show.
Well,
yeah.
there
haven't watched
is
Peaky Blinders.
Peaky Blinders movie coming.
Yeah?
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's confirmed. They start filming, I think, this year. Rebecca Ferguson is also in it from Dune. She's
love her.
We're big Rebecca Ferguson.
Same here.
Dr. Sleep, she's just wonderful and hypnotic in that movie.
She's so good.
She's so good.
Yeah.
Love her like choices.
Love that we're on the Mike Flanagan train here.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Right, you want to take a bite out of this turd sandwich?
Oh yeah. So let's get into the movie we're going to talk about today, which is Society. And luckily, David Gonzalez is the one that picked this movie. David, do you want to tell us about your pick? What got you to this point where you're like, these guys got to see Society? And also, when was the first time you saw it?
COVID.
Yes.
COVID. COVID made me crazy enough to dive in. No, I want to shout out a buddy of mine. I've been talking to him about the pod because I listen to you guys often. And
you don't think he's going to listen to this, do you?
He mentioned this movie because during COVID, I was already into a lot of 80s horror, but during COVID, I had a lot of free time, so I kind of dived into as much as I could. And my buddy JC mentioned, "Hey, have you seen Society?" And I was like, "Nah." Ironically, that was around that time. Last Drive-In with Joe Bob Briggs was starting its second season. Or third season, one of the two seasons, and I went back to watch older episodes, and one of the episodes happened to be Society, and I saw it, and I was watching. I kind of had the same mindset that a lot of my friends do when I recommend this movie to them, and I was like, okay, this is pretty cool, and then it gets to where we get, and I don't know if we're talking spoilers yet, but it gets to what we get, and I honestly sat there kind of impressed by it all. I don't know how sick I am for that. I'm like, it's probably the most underrated use of body horror in any 80s horror movie, because we talk about The Thing, we talk about The Fly, but the last 20 minutes of Society, like, it's such impressive effects. Like, all the fisting that goes on in that movie is just pretty insane.
Even the imagination of it is actually, like, the word I would use is overwhelming.
Very
There's
true.
points
Very true.
where I'm just like, oh, we're here. Oh, we're gonna go here. Oh, we're gonna go here, and I'm just like, how far is this gonna go?
And
It's
and
so
in honesty,
cool.
like the entertainment side of me just sat there and enjoyed it, but the critical side of me, I'm like, what is he trying to say? I think this movie is an allegory for the rich eating the poor, but really like in your face because of what the
literally in your face.
Literally in your face.
Yeah, indulgence. I feel like that is like, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Opulence.
Well, at one point I thought it was
yeah.
about like
was
like
my
it was
word
like a take on actors trying to break into Hollywood.
That's true too.
Where I was just like, is that what this is about? And then I'm like, well, it also seems like it might just be exactly what you said, like the rich devouring the poor.
Just like
Yeah.
very in your face. There's no like.
Yeah.
There's no subliminal message there, I think. And just as soon as you find out that Billy is not like one of them, you kind of know when that specific situation starts happening, you kind of know why it's happening, because this guy's just a poor kid. We don't want him in our elitist group. So even for a movie like this, there's a strong message there.
Brian Yuzna is one of the unsung heroes of horror.
Yes.
His movies are just all like, even if it's not your cup of tea, it's filmography. They're all just interesting movies. Like, I don't know. Do we lose you, Dave?
What'd you say?
Oh, I thought for a second I lost
No,
you.
I'm here.
We're Skyping.
Yeah, this is our first time ever doing this.
Yeah.
Dave,
yeah,
are you joining us from inside of a pillow fort?
You know what? I was playing with my daughter before. Admittedly, I am in the fort right now. Yeah.
Do you think she's sitting outside like, Dad, get out of my
Come on,
fort?
Dad.
I will say she was
Shut up,
not
I'm doing a
happy when I
podcast.
kicked her out of the room. So she was very, very upset with me when I kicked her out.
Aw.
Wait, Dave, how old are your kids?
She's 19 months, so she'll be 2 in a couple of months.
Okay, so at what age will you allow her to watch this movie?
It's funny. Listen, you know,
She's-
I
suggested it.
have 2 girls. That's why I asked.
I have literally sat at work, and I thought of the exploration to horror that I'm going to put my daughter through. So I think this is going to be a little
I like that
bit
you said
later
put her
in life.
through.
So she's already. I mean, she doesn't know what's going on, but I've already put on Friday the 13th Part 1, 2, and 3. I put on Psycho.
I remember you played a video for me where she was like reacting to the music from Psycho.
So she's
She
into.
looked like she was
She's
having
kind
a
of
great
into
time.
it. But no. But all jokes aside, like I think I'm gonna start her off with like episodes of Are You Afraid of the Dark? Kind of get her in nice and slow. Society will not be until she's a teenager. She is not touching that until she's a teenager.
Until she's 30.
Good.
That one.
I'm
and,
40, and I don't think I'm ready to see it.
Like my wife, I was joking with her because I'm a big fan of the Terrifier movies, and I joke with my wife all the time. So 5 years old, is it okay for her to watch Terrifier at 5? And she's like, absolutely not. But like she ran into Art the Clown at the Monster Mania convention that Rory and I go to this weekend, and she was not having it. So that confirms she will not be watching Terrifier anytime soon.
She did stare him down though on that photo. She looked like a gunslinger. She just stared down Art the Clown.
But yeah, let's get into the dive of this movie. So the film starts out at the Whitney's mansion, and we see a young guy named Bill who enters the house, and he grabs a knife from the kitchen, and we hear some laughing and other eerie sounds going on. But eventually it stops when his mother turns on the lights, and we get that she's like, "Are you okay?" And he's just like a sweaty mess. But a fun fact is Bill is played by Billy Warlock, which is Dick Warlock's son
From Halloween 2, yeah.
from Halloween 2, yeah.
Well, he's actually, because he's like the boombox kid.
Yep.
I met him at a Monster Mania.
That is insane. Yeah, because yesterday you're like, I met him. I'm like, Billy Warlock or
Yeah.
Dick Warlock? And you're like, both?
Yes.
Wait,
Yeah,
you met
you're like,
Billy
yes.
Warlock, Rory?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Did
I
they?
wish I had seen this movie so I could have brought something up to him other than, man, I like what Michael Myers bumped into you. Crickets.
He's like, oh, thanks. I also acted in.
No, that's enough, Billy. Okay.
Yeah.
You're boombox boy for the rest of your life.
Did they get Billy Warlock because Emilio Estevez wasn't available?
Oh my god, I thought the same thing. There were points where I'm like, he reminds me of Emilio Estevez so much in this. I love Repo Man a lot. And
Yeah, that movie rocks.
yeah,
Is that the garbage one
no
that he does with Charlie Sheen? No,
that's
that's
Men at
no.
Work. Men at Work.
Men at
Men
Work, yeah, I
Yeah,
love that movie.
Repo Man he repossesses cars, but there's like this alien thing that's kind of happening at the same time. It's awesome.
Dude, it really
it's
is
really
a
good.
remarkable movie.
Yeah.
That's actually a Criterion.
Yes, it is.
Shot.
Yeah.
So you guys went Emilio.
Emilio.
In my notes, I had a couple names and I just kept crossing them off who I wanted to compare this guy to. I finally landed on DJ Tanner's boyfriend Steve.
Oh, my God,
that's
yeah.
pretty good.
So I was like, I'll roll with that.
Yeah, I could see like some physical stuff in his like appearance.
Yeah.
He definitely has like the same kind of mullet and facial
I was
structure.
desperate for a joke, and that's what I landed on.
Yeah, that was good. No, it's all right.
Was I also seeing hints of Billy Crudup
I don't know.
a little bit, or am I crazy?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I
if
think
I saw
you're
that.
crazy. Yeah.
But no. The weird thing is, I was like, what else has Billy Warlock?
Warlock been in?
Yeah. Did you guys look it up?
Yeah, I mean,
Check
I
out
actually
his career?
first saw him in Baywatch.
The first,
Yeah.
I remember him because my mother watched Days of Our Lives.
Yes.
And he was on Days of Our Lives for fucking 10
Who was he
seasons.
on Days of Our Lives?
Billy Warlock? I don't know.
Yeah, he was still Billy.
No, he was.
He just
no,
plays
no,
Billy.
no, no, no. What's fucked up is I remember he was a Brady. He played one of the Bradys.
Yeah, he was one of the Bradys.
Oh,
But he was Billy Warlock.
He was Billy Warlock.
Billy Warlock Brady.
Yeah, he's like Tony Danza. He just takes the names by Billy. He's like, oh, I'll play Billy. Sure. But yeah, no, I looked up his career, and yeah, he did a lot of soaps. Like
Yeah, so many soaps.
He did
One Life to
General
Live.
Hospital.
Yeah, General Hospital.
And he played the one main character, Jason, in I don't know, General Hospital. I forget the names, but
I think he was also.
inserted any soap opera.
Yeah,
Yeah, he played Jason in I don't know, General Hospital.
Yeah.
Sure.
sure.
I think he was
yeah.
in Diagnosis Murder too.
Really?
Yeah, like a couple, 2 episodes, something like that. It was a little short, little run. Yeah,
I was like, he looks so familiar, and I swear to God,
he's
I'd
one of
seen
those
him in
people. You just
something.
seen him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it was probably like a soap opera.
Yeah.
yeah. I
So
was just-
at the beginning of the movie, when he goes into the kitchen to get
Yeah.
the knife, I was looking at that kitchen and I'm like, it is spotless and it is bright white. So on my notes it says white kitchen. Check in later.
check in later.
Yeah, I feel like that's just gonna have some sort of usage. That pristine white kitchen.
Ah,
Yeah.
yes, I see what you mean by that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, that seems like it's gonna get messy.
yeah, yeah.
Well,
So in the next scene, Bill describes to his therapist that he's scared of his family, his parents, and his sister, and he has an eerie feeling something terrible is about to happen.
and I think Vince had that same feeling right before he watched this movie.
Yes, still have that feeling.
And as soon as he says this, then it goes into the opening credits of the film.
Which looked like the pit at the Rob Zombie concert that I went to.
Yes. Yeah, it's like a bunch of greased up people, and there's like a lot of heavy petting
Yeah.
going on.
Heavy
and,
petting.
I don't know what you would call it, but they're basically like, you know,
Yeah.
Each other.
petting each other. I don't know.
Heavy petting. I like that.
Yeah, it was weird.
Hey, but a shout out in the credits, Screaming Mad George,
Yeah.
if for all you Nightmare on Elm Street 4 fans. He did the makeup
really?
in it, yeah.
I did not know
Yeah,
that.
you can kind of see it.
Yeah,
Because that movie's also an amazing special effects. feat.
Yeah, you know what? I love Nightmare on Elm Street 4 is like one of my favorite sequels. I
Yeah?
don't know why. Yeah, I love
Where
it.
does that rank for you, Dave? Nightmare
4, so I think I have it after. So I have 1, 3, New Nightmare. Yeah, I think it's right after. Right after that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Weird.
Freddy's Revenge. I actually do like 2. I'm like an.
Yeah, me too.
Dude, that's almost exactly my order.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
was just
exact
gonna
same
say
one I have.
that's pretty close to my order
Yeah.
too. I think I would just probably knock New Nightmare a little bit down, but
Would ya?
I'll,
I love
not that
New
I
Nightmare.
don't like it. I love it. I do love Freddy's Revenge a lot.
Yeah.
I think
I think that movie
the
actually
only
has
one
one
of
of the
the
best
of the
scores.
movies that I don't actually care for is, and Rory and I talked about it this past weekend actually, was Freddy's Dead. I can't. I hate that movie
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah.
There's one moment in Freddy's Dead that's like comic gold, is when he pushes that bed of spikes underneath John
And then
Doe,
he
and he
does
just
the-
stops and takes a breather.
Yeah.
It's just like,
And then he turns around and he like backs it up a little
it's
bit.
so cartoony, that movie, but I get why people don't love it. But
Yeah.
I have the rose-colored glasses on with that one.
Yeah. Did you see that in theaters? By the way?
No.
No. Oh, okay.
I was blind at that age,
Oh. Well.
so I didn't.
Because
get to see
I
it.
wish they gave you like 3D glasses for it, and I wish I kept those because I think that would have been so cool to
Yeah.
still have, but I didn't. I just threw them away as soon as I left the theater.
I like that you
Um,
just jumped past the fact that I was blind at that age. Just wrote it off like it was no big deal, but that's fine.
Well, I thought you lived through a miracle, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Let's not talk about it.
So, back at the mansion, Bill and his pal Milo are playing some basketball when they see Blanchard arrive.
Just a question though: are they in uniform because they can afford their own uniforms at their house? Or are they on a high school team, or is that just how they dress up to play basketball?
That's how they just dress up to play basketball.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right, good.
You never played basketball before?
Who
with your
doesn't?
friends?
That's
Yeah,
how I
with
that's
full-
how I
with a
dress
full
up to go play
jumpsuit?
basketball all the time.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. That's how we do it, man.
Gotta say they're not very good at basketball.
No.
Yes, they're pretty terrible.
Yeah.
It's a lot of air balls.
That's why it made me think, like, if they were on a team, that what team are they on? They couldn't have made the high school team.
No.
Do you guys ever see Air Bud?
It reminds me of this is going to sitcom mode, but it reminds me of when Carlton was led on the basketball team in Fresh Prince. You're like, all right, so you let anyone, no matter the talent, just be on
Yes.
that team.
In Beverly Hills, yeah, apparently.
Yeah. That's how it is, man. So the sister asks Bill to get rid of him, and she's like, "Oh, they're like Blanchard's here." She's like, "Get rid of him for me, right?" And so she starts to get ready in her room when a guy pops out of the closet, and we find out that's actually Blanchard. I'm like, didn't you just pull up and she was in her room? It didn't like make sense how fast he got up into that closet.
teleported.
Yeah, I guess so.
Hey,
but,
was that whole opening with her gratuitous?
oh, with her getting dressed?
Yeah, it seemed a little gratuitous.
I was like, all right. I don't know.
My notes, it says, was that exploitive or
Yeah.
exploitive?
Yes.
Yes. And so we see Blanchard. He holds her down, trying to stop her from screaming. But luckily, Bill arrives and stops him, and he boots him out of the house. He's like, come on, get out of here, Blanchard. And
For the record, he doesn't handle that the way he probably should have.
No.
Everyone's
No.
kind of relaxed about what just happened.
Yeah.
I don't know.
no one like calls the cops, and no one's like, oh, my sister was almost assaulted.
Yeah,
right?
you feel like that guy deserves a good thrashing.
Yeah,
you know?
like, or like a good punch in the face, but they're like, hey, just get out of here. And they just like push him out the door.
Yeah, slap a uniform on him and just make him go play basketball with them.
That's
Yeah.
funny. That scene starts like they both are about to give her a bukkake, but then it just turns really, really bad, really, really quick.
So Billy and his sister catch up and apologizes that he's going to miss her party, like her coming out party. They keep saying like, oh, I'm, blah, blah, blah. Your sister, her party's tonight, her coming out party. And he's like, oh, I'm really sorry. I'm going to miss it. I got stuff going on at school. And so he's at the debate.
Well, I just like when the dad's like with Blanchard, it's like, what's going on here? And they're like, oh, nothing, Dad.
Yeah. Oh, nothing, Dad. Everything's
Just
cool.
popped out of a closet, tried to assault me.
I got to play basketball tonight. I have the game and the debate, so I'll see you later. So at the debate, we meet Shauna, and I don't know if you know this. Do you know
I
who
do.
she's?
She's in Slumber Party Massacre 2.
Yeah, she played the drummer, Sally.
Oh,
And I know you hated that movie, too.
I did.
Yeah.
Thank you for remembering that.
Yeah.
You can hate the movie, but you gotta love the Tomeo.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Yep. Love them. But yeah, no,
I feel like I'm pretty sure the blow up doll from Slumber Party Massacre 2 actually made its way into this
Yeah.
movie also.
Yeah,
Like I
it was
like
just-
that thing got additional work.
it's become sentient.
I think that blow up doll's actually SAG.
Yeah, I think it is. at this point. So we see where she introduces Bill to the debate versus Marty, and like poor Marty, like so she like gives us a great cheer. It's like, all right, guys, give it up for Bill. And everyone's like, yeah,
Bill.
and then Marty is just there on the stage.
And Marty.
Yeah, and Marty. But Bill, he starts to get distracted by a girl when he's talking about the dress code.
Dime store Phoebe Cates.
Yeah, she really did give off like Phoebe Cates a lot. Yeah, definitely. I like it. Yeah.
Oh, you do?
I looked
Explain
her
that
up.
more. How much do you like it?
I like it a lot.
I looked her up, and she's actually was like a stunt actor on Dexter.
I bet you looked her up.
What?
Isn't that
Really?
interesting. Yeah, I looked her up on IMDb.
That was
That's
Devin. That was Devin DeVasquez, right? Or you?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think she did Playboy too. Yeah, she was. Yeah, she was
Just
Playboy.
off the top of my head,
I
think.
just looked her up. She was Playmate of the Month in June 1985.
Yeah.
Yeah,
1985, you say?
June 1985.
June, you say?
Wait. So this, what year did this movie come out?
1989.
Yeah. Okay. So at the debate, Bill gets a little distracted by Clarissa, but he doesn't really know her yet. And at one point, Milo goes, "Yo, you gotta stay away from them. They're bad news." And so
Women in general? Just generally
I don't
women,
know.
or
I don't know what Milo's talking about. He's just like, "Stay away from her. She's bad news." Right?
Yeah.
does Milo know about the family and their history and what they do? Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know. But that's all we get from him. So
Maybe
Bill,
they were just trying to set up her character real awkwardly.
yeah.
Like, what do we say about her? Oh, she's bad news.
She's
Like,
bad
oh,
news,
good
man.
enough.
So
It's something.
Bill goes to tell his therapist he won the game and the debate. Then he goes on to talk about his family, and Bill doesn't feel like he really belongs. Like, he feels he was adopted, which I was like, oh, okay. So they laid out like that groundwork pretty early to, for us, the
Very
audience.
heavy-handed too.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's like a different kind of thing, though. Like, it fits the tone of the movie.
Yes.
The way the dialogue's doled out.
Because the whole
Yeah.
thing is heavy-handed.
Well, no, it's just this movie. Yeah. No, this movie kind of has like I don't know if you got this, but it felt like it has like a very like dreamlike kind of thing to it.
Yes, it does. It has like that fogginess.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
It's not like a traditional narrative. It just sort of feels very like he was trying to drift it into like an art film or something, and they're like, no, this is going into theaters.
Yeah. So at home, Bill asks his sister for some suntan lotion, but ends up seeing something kind of weird. So he opens the shower door to his sister, who's like completely naked, and she's like, "Get out of here!" And he's like, "I just came in to get this," and he holds up the suntan lotion.
And she's like,
And-
great, get out.
Yeah, like, why'd you open the door then? Like, to tell me?
But didn't he kind of see her body flipped?
Yeah, it looked like her
Butt was in front.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
And so he's like, "Whoa!" And then he opened the door, but I was like, I don't know. It was a very strange.
Why wasn't he just honest? Be like, I thought your butt was in front.
Yeah, I
Like-
thought I saw stuff.
I thought I saw something.
Yeah, but anyways, Bill goes to the beach with Shauna and starts smooching, catching some rays.
Wait, before you get there, how did he get to the beach?
Didn't he drive his Jeep?
Let's talk about the Jeep now. That thing is beautiful. That's like a 1986 Jeep Wrangler. Right now, that thing would probably sell for like $120,000. Beautiful. This movie has awesome cars throughout the entire thing. There's the Jeep. There's the IROC. It's just beautiful cars. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah,
You guys,
totally.
Party on.
Party on, man.
sorry, guys.
Does this guy know how to party or what? So Bill goes to the beach with Shauna, and they start smooching, catching some rays. And Shauna asks Bill to get her and Bill an invite to Ted Ferguson's party. And as they're chatting, two little kids army crawl right by them. And I'm like, are those extra? At first I was like, are those just extras? Because that's a weird choice, right? And then they start shooting lotion all over them, like Shauna and Billy.
So, like, the way that came out, do
Yeah.
you think that was intended to be that way?
Yeah,
Probably.
Do you have any thoughts on this scene, Dave?
Which specific one? The lotion
When the kids
one?
are like blasting suntan lotion all over Shauna.
I think
it comes off a little weird.
I think every shot that you guys or I assume to be something, it's the movie's in your face. It's not hiding anything. So I definitely think it's
There's some subtext there.
Yeah, the subtext is pretty clear on what it's trying to say there.
Yeah.
We're talking about facials, folks, right?
That's it. That is it.
Jesus Christ, guys, it's 2024. You can say it. Just say it.
Well, the three of us are just like tap dancing
What are
around
you
this.
doing?
Well, I don't want to see it.
All right, let's call it what it is.
Yeah.
It's talking about,
Yeah.
we love money shots. That's what it is, right?
Yeah. It's my favorite part of the show. Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't help that she's like, oh, God, all over my hair.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, she literally has, like, a Santa beard from the lotion. And I'm like, it's, like, excessive. Anyways, Bill chases after them and comes across the girl from the debate, and she picks up the lotion, which now the lotion has become the MacGuffin of this film because it's driving the whole plot forward. I was like, oh, yeah, the shower scene. Yeah, I was like, it was important in the shower scene. She got shot in the face with it. Now this girl's picking it up. And I'm like, all right, I guess this is the MacGuffin and just keeping the plot going forward. Anyways.
That'd be really funny. If like, you really analyzed it, you're like, everything that happened was because
of this
because
lotion,
he picked up that lotion.
But Bill goes to chat with Ferguson. And he's like, hey, any cool things happening this weekend? And Fergie's
That's
like...
actually the dialogue. Hey, cool kids.
Hey, cool kids, anything happening this weekend?
Not with you.
Oh, all right. So, as he said, and Fergie, yeah. So Fergie, he's like, no, nothing is happening this weekend.
And he's also in his 30s, right? His mid-30s, and he's hanging out with high school kids. Right?
I think he's supposed to be in high school.
Is he? He's supposed to be in high school.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe he was one of the teachers.
Yeah.
He's part of the faculty.
Or the basketball coach.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on with him. But
That's why the kids don't know how to play because he's too busy hanging out with all the kids.
Yeah. So, as he walks off, Blanchard is like, hey, Bill, can I talk with you for a second? It's pretty important. So, Bill's like, yeah, all right, sure. So, back
This
at the
won't be
mansion.
weird.
I know, it's so weird. Back at the mansion, we see Jenny, who is Billy's sister, and her father are chatting with the judge about her upcoming coming out party. And then we bounce back to the beach where Blanchard is playing Bill a recording of Bill's family. And this is when some of the plot starts to come out about the family a little. Yeah. And they're just casually talking about boys popping high ones for Jenny.
I love that term.
Yeah. I was
They're
like,
oh, your boobs are great. All the boys are going to be popping high ones.
I'm like,
what?
Who's mom?
Let me ask, at this
Mom?
point, for the guys that haven't watched it, were you thinking, what the fuck am I getting myself into? There's nothing here?
I no longer ask myself that. I just accept it.
Vince is dead inside now.
Yeah. I was just like, what is that dialogue? Boys are going to be popping high ones. I was like, all right, this is great.
Is there any chance we can get that term back?
Popping the high ones?
Popping high ones. You know, anymore when I rate a movie, I'm just going to talk about popping high ones. You know, this movie's pretty good. Give me a couple popping high ones.
I popped a high one for this movie.
I think it's pretty great, man. Anyways, she even talks about hooking up with Ted Ferguson, the sister. She's like, yeah, Ted Ferguson. She's like, yeah, you're going to start off with the young ones first and then eventually move your way through everybody else. And that's when Billy's like, Blanchard, you recorded my sister? And he pushes him against the wall. I'm like, you waited the whole time? I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. So at the mansion, Bill's father finds a bug and discusses with the judge that he's like, you know what? I just found this bug. I think it's Blanchard.
He's got a vast knowledge of technical wizardry.
And Blanchard also looks like he's like in his 40s.
Yes.
You know who he looked like? The actor from Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Dude, I was thinking
The
that.
neighbor?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
100%.
A thinner version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, is it the same person?
Yeah, the one who like stole Pee-wee's bike.
Yes.
Yeah.
originally, yeah.
Looks
That's
just
what-
like one
looks-
originally.
Originally. So,
Pee-wee.
I know where you are, but what am I?
So Bill takes the tape from Blanchard and rushes to his therapist. He's like, listen to this tape, listen to this tape. And the therapist is like, I'll get around to it. Just leave it here. And Billy's like,
I don't have
all
time
right.
for your mixtape, sir.
Yeah. Imagine if it was a mixtape and it's like, yeah.
Spin Doctors? Oh, no.
Genie coming at you, yeah. Society. So the next day at school, Bill reveals to Shauna what he heard, but she actually doesn't care, and she's like, did you get us an invite to the party? He's like, aren't you listening? My sister, I have this
She's not
weird
paying
tape.
attention.
Yeah, and she's like, I just care about that party. And then eventually she breaks up with him. She's like, you know what? This isn't working out.
You couldn't get me into the party, so
Yeah.
I'm done with you.
And I was like, that's all it takes? Yeah.
Women, am I right?
Right. She's like, I got a Santa beard yesterday, and you just care about your sister? So
Did
Bill
you tell them about the Santa beard?
So Bill goes back to his therapist, and they begin to listen to the tape, and now it's like completely different. We see where a lot of the dialogue has changed, and it just sounds very normal, like a very casual conversation between the parents and Ginny. So Bill rushes out to meet with Blanchard, and he gets a call, and when he gets to the rendezvous spot that they talk about, we see that Blanchard was killed in this unfortunate car accident. And my favorite performance in this entire movie is that cop that's like, get away from there.
That's all.
Kid.
Hey, kid, don't
away.
touch that.
And then he's like rubbing the evidence all over himself. Like everyone's just like manhandling all the.
But I was
We
like,
didn't dust that yet. I don't care.
This
I
isn't a
don't
yard
care.
sale, kid.
Yeah.
Is that what he
yeah,
says?
that's
to
what he
him?
says to him. He's like, it's not a yard sale, kid. And I'm like, what is? Why wasn't this blocked off in the first place? But then
I wish he had the cassette tape, the recorder. He's just like, well, I don't think he was going to use it.
it's mine now, right? Finders
Yeah.
Keepers. But no, that cop, is my favorite of the movie. So Bill gets back home, and he gets a letter from Ted Ferguson inviting him to a party, and his family, they're all stoked about it. They're all like, oh my gosh, you got an invite to the party. He's like, guys, Blanchard is dead, and no one cares.
No one cares yet.
They're like, but that invite, like, aren't you really
That's
excited
really
for the
cool.
party?
Real stoked about that.
Yeah, that's gonna be really neat. So Bill shows up at Ferguson's house, and
With some
There's
nice,
this-
so he walks in and there's some really nice stock '80s music.
yes,
You know,
yeah, that's
you're not gonna
stock.
get sued for using that music.
That movie, I'd like.
That was created 10 minutes before they went to post.
Yeah,
I guarantee you.
the only music that's better than this is the Death Spa music.
Oh my god.
It's
Yeah.
so
It's
corny.
very 80s.
That's-
I love it. Yeah.
Love that you guys brought up Death Spa. Death Spa rocks.
So they show up to the party, and he dances with that brunette girl, which we don't know her name exactly yet, but it's Clarissa. And Milo shows up asking about Blanchard. He's like, hey man, I heard about Blanchard. Isn't it crazy? He's like, I don't have time to talk about that right now. You're really rude to that girl. And I'm
I
like,
don't want to hear about your dead friend. You were rude.
yeah, but Billy's like, just like 10 minutes ago was like complaining to the family, like, Blanchard's dead. Don't you care?
Yeah.
And then Milo's like, guys, you know, Blanchard's dead. And Billy's like, I
I
don't
don't
fucking
care.
care. Yeah.
I cared 10 minutes ago. Not now.
I'm trying to get Kmart Phoebe Cates, man. Like, just get out of here. But yeah, I thought it was just funny. You couldn't care less. So then Bill goes and confronts Ferguson, and Bill punches Ferguson in the face. And to get Bill back, Ferguson and his friends, they just like pick him up and they just throw him into the pool. They don't like hit him or anything. And everyone's like, ah ha ha ha. And then Bill's like, this sucks.
So he got, yes, EJ, he got to punch a guy in the face and all he got was thrown in the pool.
Right.
So his clothes are wet.
Hey,
Yeah.
one thing I really
It's a fair
liked-
trade.
One thing I liked about everything leading up to that moment, I like that he walks in and accuses the bad guy of all the terrible things that he did, and he doesn't try to play it down. He's like, yeah, I did that.
Just puts an end to it. Yeah, I did that. Those are my,
he's not being cute about
That
it.
sounds
He's
like
just
me.
Yeah, I did it.
It's like, you
throw him in the
slept
pool.
with my sister, man.
he's like, yeah, I did.
Yeah,
Good.
Yeah, we all did.
Yeah.
We all of us. Everybody in
great.
here.
Yeah.
Good times. And Marty's there, too. Which I was like, I thought he was like
Inside
the
his
Klaus.
sister?
Oh, well, technically, I guess. No, but Marty was there, too, which I was like, oh, Ferguson hangs out with Marty? And then, I don't know. It was a weird dynamic.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, this family's a little odd. Very sexually aggressive, I would say.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah.
thoughts on that, Dave?
Any thoughts on that, Dave?
They're just sexually liberated. They enjoy a good time. They had a great time in the 60s and just brought it over to the 80s. That's what I...
Yeah. This family's definitely voting for Dukakis.
Just on the name alone. But you know what? Say it loud, say it proud, whatever. So the brunette goes off with Bill, and they immediately boing, and we eventually find out her name is Clarissa. But I like how they're just like hanging out, and they talk for maybe like a minute and a half, and then they're immediately like in bed boing, and you know.
That's how it goes.
What's that other term we had?
Oh, I forget. It was I can't remember. But
Studio.
Susudia. Yeah, that's it.
Hey, you know what's weird? Right before they actually did hook up, she's like flirting with them, and
Yeah.
she's like, "Hey, your button's about to pop off," and then she like rips it off.
Yeah.
And in my head, I was just thinking about how much that would just like bother me for the rest of the evening.
Would it?
I know.
That
I'd be like,
I would just sit there and be like, "Oh fuck." I
I'd
gotta
be
go
like,
to the
fuck
mall,
yeah,
buy it."
tear that shit off and buy me a new shirt in the morning. I'm good.
Just buy me a new shirt.
I'm a little OCD. I would just, be like, oh, God damn it. It's so
I know.
hard to find a nice shirt. I gotta go try it on, make sure it fits.
I wonder if my mom still can sew.
Yeah, but what if the thread doesn't match?
Yeah.
I'll be fixating on that too.
So outside, poor Shauna, she's with a friend and she's crying because she sees Bill's Jeep, and they spot someone coming and they take off. And the person that's coming is this
mother?
lady. Yeah, the mother, which is, we find out briefly, you know, like in the next scene, it's her mom.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's going on with that character?
The entire movie? Are you asking in that scene or the entire
like
fucking movie?
they never like really come
get, like,
around and explain it.
Did they
She
give her,
got
like, a
kicked
little-
in the head by a donkey at a young age. And that is the only explanation I can come to on her fucking character. Give me a better explanation than that.
Oh my god.
Oh.
But I was like,
How did she marry?
I-
How did she marry?
and how is this girl her daughter?
Yes.
I
And the daughter's an absolute smoke show.
Yeah.
How did the mother produce that?
the mother like doesn't look that much older. Like she looks like a 30,
Yeah.
like early 30s,
Yeah.
right?
She kind of looks like Mimi from the Drew Carey show.
Oh my god, that's what it
Oh,
was.
that's what it-
That's what it reminded me of.
That's what she. Yes,
That's exactly what it was.
That is spot on. That is so good. So meanwhile, this crazy lady enters the house and interrupts Bill and Clarissa, and it turns out it's Clarissa's mom, and she spits up hairballs.
Yeah.
And while introducing herself, like Billy's like, "Hey, I'm Bill," and then she's like, "Ugh."
And she coughs a hairball into her hand and hands it to him.
"Yeah."
Dave, do you have like any info on what was going on with the mom?
None.
Is there some like
None.
deleted scenes? Did she have a lobotomy?
None. Surprisingly, this is not a movie that's detailed and fun behind the scenes information like The Godfather or something along those lines.
So it's possible she was kicked in the head by a donkey as a
Could
child.
be. It could be.
Okay.
There's like
Yeah.
a flashback. Like, I don't think this really makes them.
I mean, it's so bad that this specific actress, when we were talking about it now, I looked her up to see what I could find for her credits. She doesn't even have a Wikipedia. So that's
Oh my gosh.
She died. You can only survive from a kick to the head from a donkey for so long.
I don't know what was going on with that character. Yeah, Clarissa chases her mom. She's like, get out of here.
Fucking, she pulls his hair at some point.
And she's like, get out of here, Mom. And Billy's like, I never met anyone like you before. He says that to Clarissa after she's like, get out of here, Mom. And then he's like, kind of like,
well, I love
turned
how
on by it?
aggressively hateful you are to your mom.
He gets like, it's like this meet cute, perfect moment, you know, like when you see, it kind of, all right, Ewan McGregor in Big Fish when he sees the mother for the first time.
Everything slows down.
Yeah, everything's like slowed down. And he's just like, I never met anyone like you before.
As she's slow-mo yelling at her mother, pointing a finger in her face.
Yeah.
Just screaming at her, belittling her mom.
And
He's
like,
wow, you're my kind of girl.
there's like so many red flags with this girl. Like, and he's just like, wow.
She can't explain it all.
You're
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, Clarissa just can't explain it all. So, so the next day.
EJ, no, hold on a second. High five.
And
Oh,
ironically,
that was Vince.
Take
Was
it.
it?
He can have it.
Hey,
Yeah,
high five.
that was Vince.
Someone said it.
The next day, Bill is leaving home and finds a blow-up doll in his Jeep, and Shauna shows up and starts to curse out Billy and
Wait,
throws
not just a blow-up doll. A blow-up doll with a Ken doll stuffed inside the blow-up doll's mouth.
Yes.
Don't just breeze by that. That's pretty psychotic.
Is that foreshadowing?
I was just gonna say that's definitely foreshadowing, right?
Maybe.
Hey, it's Bruce.
Hey.
Yeah, look at him.
Our first cat appearance.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
actually have a cat on the show right now.
yeah,
everyone.
he's not happy being stuck in here with me.
Aw.
Oh.
Oh,
It's okay, Bruce.
That's all right, Bruce.
Tell Bruce we want to hear his thoughts on society.
What do you think of society, Bruce? Don't think he's a fan.
Silence says everything.
Yes. So the next day, Bill is leaving, and he finds this blow-up doll. Shauna shows up. She starts cursing him out, and then Billy.
Did she think he had like an affair with that doll?
Maybe.
Is that what she was so upset about?
No, I'm pretty sure she knew
Who's
that she was
that?
banging Clarissa.
I think she's like, you went to the party without me. You banged Clarissa.
And possibly that doll.
And then she removes a ring like they were married or like they were engaged.
Or like
they're
in
in
the
high
50s.
school. Yeah, she like
It's a
takes-
promise ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she takes it off and throws it on the ground. Like I was like, what is that? Like the class ring? Like what? I don't know. Anyways, then Bill is like, you know what? I'm gonna confront my parents about this. So he goes into the house.
Great idea.
And they're in there with the sister, and like, it's a really weird moment because the sister is just wearing like pretty much like a nightgown situation.
It's almost lingerie.
Yeah, and then-
Lingerie-ish.
and the same with the parents aren't really like dressed either, and they're like massaging the daughter.
Yeah.
And at this point, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
There's incest in this
That's
movie?
that's the appropriate response.
Yeah, what? But then he's like, did you guys do this? Did you put this blow up doll in my car? And they're like, what are you talking about? Bill, it's gonna be okay. And I'm just like, this scene, it's wildin'. I don't know.
He comes in hot about the blow up doll, but like, why not? Dad, why are you massaging my sister?
Yeah, like
Seductively? Like, full stop. What is going on here?
I would have like paused and be like, wait,
Yeah.
all right, this is weird. The
But
doll,
this is
but
weirder.
this is weirder.
This is way weirder.
Yeah.
I have a list of things to go over with you guys.
Do you guys understand boundaries?
No.
No. So Bill and Milo go to Blanchard's funeral. And for some reason, Milo has the need to put his finger, or will touch touch Blanchard
Touch
on
the cheek of, yeah.
Yeah. So he puts his finger on Blanchard's cheek, and it goes through it. It just like an eggshell. It cracks, and his finger goes through the cheek.
Do you know why that scene is there?
No.
Okay, so here's what happened. The special effects guy said, I could do this really cool thing with the head prosthetic with the cheek where you push it on it and it cracks. And the director's like, we're using it.
Oh. Okay.
Give me another explanation.
Rory.
All I know is that it's the most disastrous funeral in film since Randall Graves went to that funeral. in
Ah,
Clerks
that's
and
great.
knocked
The
over
Clerks
casket.
cartoon, fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like...
Was her name
what
Julie
about-
Dwyer? Knocked over her casket.
Yeah. It's like, wait a second. Like, even like the family, wouldn't they be like, oh man, I can't believe he put a hole through my son's face?
Elisa, could you not do that?
Can you please don't touch that dead
Sir,
body?
please don't touch the art.
We never thought we'd have to put this sign up, and he puts it up. Don't please
touch
do
the
not
body.
touch the corpse.
So,
He just like blows it off. He's like, I never thought I'd have to use this.
so Marty, the debate kid, he's like, hey,
That's
Bill.
what he's listed as in the credits.
Yeah.
Marty the debate kid.
Did he end the debate with Sandimas high school football rules?
No.
No, I wish he did.
That was his history project.
That was a history. Okay.
Yeah. So no, Bill. He's like, he's talking to Bill, and Marty's like, "Yo, meet me later, and I'll explain everything about the society." And I'm like, "Boom!" They said it.
They said the
Society.
word. They said the name.
line.
Oh, they said it.
They said the line.
So that night, Bill shows up and he finds Marty Petrick dead, or Marty Petrie, sorry, dead, and he gives chase to the person who might have done it. And as he's chasing, eventually Bill makes it out of the woods and to the front of Clarissa's house. And Bill contacts the police and leads them to Marty's car, but there's no body, and it's a different car now too.
It's a Volvo, but yeah.
Yeah. He's like, hey, the car's different now, too. And I'm like, I actually didn't even notice that. I would have been like, there's no dead
It's
body.
the same car. It has
Yeah.
wheels. If it has wheels, it's a car to you.
Yes. That's, unfortunately, it's true. That's so true.
Wait, do you like? I love the fact that Rory walked by 20 of his friends' cars to get into the building for his birthday and didn't even notice.
Yeah.
Yeah. You probably knew my car, right?
Well,
Well, you were supposed to be here.
dude.
Yeah, that's true.
For the record, ever since they took that parking lot out across the street,
You're lost.
everybody's
Parks yeah.
over here now. So like, there's a bunch of cars. I'm like, this is just another.
Yeah,
Wednesday.
just a normal. Okay.
Yeah.
Even like during the week when I would come here to record,
Yeah.
that parking lot was always just like empty,
Packed.
and now it's like
Packed
I
because
struggle
of
to
all
find
the-
a spot.
It's insane.
And no, I don't know what kind of car you drive, even though
Yeah.
I've been in it. So
No.
to answer your question,
So the next day at school, Bill asks Ginny to tell the truth, and the debate starts, and Bill starts chatting about Blanchard's death. He goes up in front of the whole school, the auditorium, right? And he's like, guys, I'm telling you right now, Blanchard's dead. I think Marty's dead. And as he's going on, everyone starts laughing because out walks Marty behind him. And at this point in the movie, I'm like,
What is happening?
what's going on? Yeah. What's
At
going
this
on
point,
here?
at this point, you're
I
wondering
mean,
what's
no,
going on.
I mean, for the majority of it, I
You said it again. I said
Yeah.
again. What is going on?
what is going on?
that's what I'm saying. The movie has like a very like dreamlike kind of thing to it. Like you feel like you're like watching someone's nightmare.
Yeah, like someone's unraveling, and you're like, are they unraveling? Because this is like, I don't know, right?
Like he's just getting set up, or this is a dream, or it's all in his head.
You kind
It
of
starts
think
making
you're kind of taken through a ride of this guy. It feels like you're dealing with a psychological deconstruction until the last couple of minutes, where the movie just takes a giant left into what it's really
Yes.
And yeah, so up until like that point, right, I was not really feeling this movie, but we'll get to that in a second. But yeah, once that happened, I was like, oh, all right, I'm feeling this movie now, with the society part. But
Yeah.
all right, so
He said the thing, so
I said the thing, yeah. So Milo confesses to putting the blow-up doll in Bill's car. He's like, "Hey, you know that like shrunken head doll and the blow-up doll? That was me, man. I did that. I was the one that put that stuff in your locker and in your Jeep." And he's like, "Why?" And Milo's like, "I don't know. I did it."
Yeah,
Let's-
it's
let's
literally
move
just
past
like
it.
because.
yeah, like it doesn't really dive into why he's doing it. He's just like, "I just did it."
He's like they never really established that he like resents him or that he's jealous of him or anything.
Right.
So what you're saying is you could take that entire scene out with the blow up doll, and the movie still,
Right in the trash.
yeah, and
It
it's
still works.
still confusing. Yes.
Hey, so did anyone notice that his license plate says hoops?
Yeah, he's a
Yes, I
baller,
did.
man.
Actually,
You'd think
Yeah.
he'd be better at basketball.
yeah, you think?
Well, they're
you would think.
they're gym teachers partying with teenagers. So how good can they get?
Yeah. Should. Oh man.
That's a callback.
So Milo confesses that he saw a lot of the stuff. He like witnessed the stuff the night before, and he believes Bill. And Bill's like, "Oh, thanks, man, because everything.
No one else believes me."
Yeah, no one believes me. So Bill arrives home that night, and he finds his parents, Ginny, the judge, and his therapist all gathered together, and they end up drugging Bill.
Yep.
And then these two EMTs take him off in a stretcher.
I like the little ambulance pulls up in front of the house.
Yeah. I'm like, what?
How'd they get the ambulance in on it too?
Everyone's
They
in
got
on
the
it.
they got the local ambulance company.
There's a couple shots in this movie. It's the same framing where like a car just like pulls up in front of the house.
Yeah.
Somebody like ushers somebody inside of the
Because
car.
Blanchard had like that Tony Danza, who's the boss fan.
Yeah.
And he pulled up like earlier in the
Yeah.
movie. Yeah. It is really funny. I didn't.
Same framing and everything.
Yeah.
They did all the car shots in one day.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, let's do
Day
this.
one, let's bang out these car shots.
So, as Milo is watching from outside and he witnesses, Billy getting taken off by the ambulance, he ends up following that to the hospital.
From Halloween 2.
The hospital exterior from Halloween 2, which is awesome.
So we have Billy Warlock
Yeah.
and the hospital from Halloween 2.
Yeah.
So 2 Halloween 2 cameos.
Yeah. Which
Neato.
is kind of neat. Yeah. So the nurse tells Milo that Bill is in the morgue. He's like, is Billy here? And then she's like, oh, he's in the morgue. He's like, what? They just brought him here. And she's like, I
No,
don't
he's
know.
he's dead.
dead.
He's definitely dead.
Yeah.
Don't bother looking.
Just start grieving.
Yeah, just start grieving. Yeah. Sorry about your friend, but leave now. So Bill...
We have a lot of movies we've watched where the nurses are like not helpful and very mean to
Yeah.
people who were just worried.
You know why? Because nurses are sick and tired of your shit.
Yep.
You come in with
He's
dumb
literally-
questions all day.
It wasn't a dumb question. It's just like, hey, where's my friend? She's like, oh yeah, he's dead.
It's in the morgue, baby. Yeah.
He's cool enough.
He's down there.
Hope he didn't love him.
Yeah.
'Cause he's gone.
I hope you didn't pull any weird pranks on him.
Yeah.
Because that might have caused it.
Yeah, he's dead. You want to go see that now? Come on.
Come on.
She's like eating a sandwich. Come on, check it out.
Some of the mayonnaise is just dripping on his dead body. So Bill, however, he's actually in a hospital bed and he wakes up hearing all these weird noises, and luckily he finds his clothes because it's a weird jump cut. Like he's like, whoa, where am I? And he's in his like hospital gown and stuff. And then the next scene, he's walking out of the front of the hospital.
And is he wearing pleated acid wash jeans? Is that what he's wearing?
Yeah, he has like a full.
It's a whole get up with the belt and the shirt tucked in. It's very 80s. I like
Yeah.
it.
I
Did
was
you see
like,
that crazy outfit Sally was wearing earlier in the movie? It was like a full denim jumper.
A Canadian tuxedo.
yes. Yeah. So he goes out and we see that Milo is by his Jeep, and Bill is acting like super weird at this point, and he's like, whatever, Milo, I'm going home now. And he goes into this like weird Jack Nicklaus.
Yeah.
I almost feel like he's delusional and he doesn't know what's reality and what may be the dream that he's living, and he's just like, I don't care, I'm going with it.
I feel like Billy Warlock just saw Heathers and he was like, I like this Christian Slater performance.
He's
I'm gonna
alright.
do that.
Did you guys ever see Disturbing Behavior?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I thought they did something like that
That's
to
what
him.
I thought,
Because he
too.
came out and he's like, I feel great. And I'm like, wow, you're a completely different character now.
And he's like all sweaty. He's like,
Yeah.
I feel good.
yeah.
Woo.
Everybody's
Society
moist in
rules.
He's just saying all this weird shit.
Yeah, it's just like a very peculiar choice.
It's almost like Bill Paxton energy a little bit,
Like
right?
From Aliens.
Yeah. Like, well, I mean, just in general. Like,
We're all gonna die, man.
Game over.
Game over, man. So he drives off, and we get a weird cut where Bill is with Clarissa now, and they're at her place, and she warns him not to go home. And again, it's like a weird cut. Like he's in her house, and they're talking. She's like, "Don't go home," and I'm like, wait, I thought he was going home first, and then he stopped at Clarissa's. I don't know. This part like felt a little
wonky.
Yeah,
Just this part felt a little wonky.
just this part.
Okay.
was wonky. Yeah, but so anyways, Milo he shows up, and the mom ends up in his back seat.
Yeah.
It's Frankenmom.
Frankenmom, yeah.
Bride of Frankenmom.
And
She started getting
yeah.
a little bit of the hair thing
Little
going
poof.
on.
yeah, and yeah, she's in the back seat, just like wanting
Harassing
to
Drew
go
Carey.
with him.
Yeah.
Sniffing his hair and stuff.
Yeah,
There's
she's
like a weird hair gag going on
Yeah.
that the movie doesn't clarify.
Does she
I don't
scalp someone at the
understand.
end of the movie?
What?
Does she scalp someone at the end of the movie?
Oh
I
wait,
don't
you
know.
know, she like rips someone's
The
wig
cop.
off.
Yeah, the cop, I think. Yeah.
You know what? That's
Yeah.
actually a moment that's very funny.
Yes.
It's like a moment
She's
where I was like,
no, she's brilliant. She's probably my favorite character in this
Yeah?
movie. Yeah.
Yeah, she is actually kind of awesome, and
Yeah.
I'm like, she just doesn't fit in.
There's a
but-
psychotic, fun energy to her. Like, what the
Yeah.
fuck is this lady gonna do now?
and they never explain
No
who she
explanation.
is. Like
she walked out of a John Waters movie or something.
Yeah.
that's yeah.
You know what's Rory? You mentioned John Waters. I just saw my first John Waters movie like 3 weeks ago.
Ooh. What was
which
your
one?
maiden voyage?
Serial Mom.
Oh my
Nice.
god, that's my favorite.
Yeah, Serial
I
Mom
love
rocks.
Serial Mom so much.
Yeah, that shit rocked.
Did you love it?
I was tickled to pieces during the trial where she kept looking at the white after Labor Day shoes thing.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Such a
It's
great
so
scene.
It's so
good.
fun.
Hey, Dave. There's a criterion for this movie. You should check out. Pink
I'm not gonna
Flamingos.
watch. Like, I know the history. No, I'm not doing that.
You can't unsee
I'm
it.
not doing. You seen it?
I sure have.
I have it on Criterion.
Me
I didn't
too.
watch it yet.
Me
but
too. It's
yeah.
awesome.
I
No,
plan
dude,
on
it's
it.
kind of awesome in that it's like disgusting and
Mm-hmm.
it's like super like raw and gritty. But I like John Waters. I think.
Yeah,
he's-
me too.
I think he's interesting.
I do too. He's I feel like this would have been like a John Waters film.
He's like a big fan of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's
he
like, I
probably-
have people over every Friday. We watch Society.
So Bill gets home, and a group of people are there waiting, which is the society.
They sure
and they
are.
reveal that they're a different species. They're like, no, we're not aliens. We've been here the whole time.
They describe themselves as we're whatever the fuck.
Basically, yeah.
I don't really know exactly. Do they clarify what they are?
No, they just say they're kind of like beings that have always been here, like on Earth.
Dave, you're the expert. What are they? Are they aliens?
Aliens that like to fuck is what I think they are.
Yeah.
I know humans like that.
Yeah, I thought they were like, I took it as they're kind of like I don't know, like a
Like an anteater? I don't know.
yeah.
That-
Well, yeah.
Yeah. They suck the life out of. What is shunting, by the way?
Oh, well, we're going to get
I'm gonna
into
go to
that.
Webster.
Yeah, so they bring in a very much alive Blanchard, and he is the very first shunting victim. And if you have to ask what shunting is, let's just say it's juicy, gross.
Damn right.
Juicy.
It's a nice,
process of-
nice little callback to the beginning because the title credits kind of teased the shunting,
Yes.
and now you get you don't even think twice about it. But that's what I like to call a nice payoff when we actually see
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
the shunting looks like.
And to be honest, this is where I was like, this movie rules, because they're all like have this like saliva and like juices and body fluids are like all kind of meshing together, and it looks like they're just turning into like a gelatin species that
Yeah.
is like sucking the life out of Blanchard now.
I also like that when everything turns, the lighting shifts into like an Argento kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's like there's like this real cool
So
red
cool
light
red,
pops
yeah.
on, and I'm like, all right, I don't care what anyone says. I love this movie.
Yeah, that's where it got me.
I've gone to Google and I typed in shunting, and it says shunting has multiple meanings. In railway operations, the process of sorting rolling stocking into trains or vice versa. In the United States, this is known as switching. Slang, to move someone or something from one place to another, usually because they are not wanted. For example, I spent most of my childhood being shunted between my parents who had divorced when I was 5. But wait,
There's more.
there's more. on the bottom it says in society, and I'm like, in society, it says in the film society, shunting is when wealthy party guests physically deform their bodies and meld into a near amorphous mass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's yeah. I'm
That's
just as shocked that I saw it. It
Wow.
literally quotes the movie in the definition.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, we all learned something today.
That is.
How about that?
But I love that they, it looks like they're like biting them at first, and then all of a sudden their mouths are like grafted to.
It almost
his
feels
skin.
like they're melding into it to become. It's
like
fucking
that
weird.
gelatin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
But
it
they
the
have like a
Morpheus-
sucky nose thingy that comes out.
yeah.
Is it the mayor who stands up and he's like, I'm getting too old for this shit?
Yeah.
I also love that the mayor is it the mayor who's smoking the cigar?
Yeah.
Goes in with a fully lit cigar and then messes around and comes out glistening with a half smoked cigar.
Yes.
Like he was able to keep it lit the entire time with all of those moist. I was impressed.
It's like he enters the rectum of Blanchard and comes out his mouth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because he's got the he basically wears his body as a skin suit.
Yeah,
Is that what we're-
like? I feel like it just becomes part of
Yeah.
him in a
And
little
he
bit
got
because he
the-
has that birthmark.
Is it
But he
kinda-
kept the hair.
Is it kind
Yeah.
of like in Hellraiser, like how they like kind of like regenerate or get younger,
Yeah,
kind of thing?
and it keeps them younger.
What is the end
actually?
goal?
I don't know. But here's the weird thing. Didn't they say that Ferguson has been around, or since Julius Caesar and Genghis Khan or something?
Oh sure.
Didn't they say it like?
And he's still in high school.
And he's still fucking in
He's
high
still
school.
a high school coach.
He's still pulling that Twilight shit.
Yeah, I guess like if you've been around that long, like what you choose to do with your immortality is to stay in high school.
And he chose to do high school kids.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Awesome.
So Milo and that mom, Clarissa's mom, beat up a cop, Frankenmom, to steal his uniform. Clarissa frees Billy, and he runs upstairs, and his parents are just like super gross. Like, so the mom looks all messed up. The sister's her body's all deformed.
The sister and the
weird.
mom have joined together to form one body, and
Yeah.
the sister's on the bottom half and the mom's on the top half.
And then
it's weird.
Yeah, and then when he falls over, right? Because he
falls to the ground. Yeah.
The mother and daughter are trying to seduce Billy, and then he falls over, and that's when he sees his dad.
There you go.
And
Butthead. Wow.
The
Wow.
best part of the movie.
yeah,
Wow is all I have to
Yeah, I
say.
know you
Yeah.
called me a butthead.
and check it out. I can pull that off,
I
man.
did this for you.
Yeah, I know you're into it.
I know you love payoffs.
I know you like play.
And my favorite line from the dad is,
Yeah, that was
just classic.
I was like, so good.
Yeah,
What am I, 14? Because that's amazing.
Yeah. So that
that's actually in the movie.
yeah.
It's kind of surreal.
And he's just like a butt with a face in the butt cheeks,
Yeah.
and
A mouth where an anus should be, and yeah, it's a whole situation. It's a mess down there.
yeah, and it's just indulging in these weird
Yeah.
fantasies of incest and
Yeah.
orgy.
So, Dave, thank you, by the way, because I'm never going to get that image out of my head.
Yeah, thanks,
you're
Dave.
welcome. It's funny because before I saw it, my buddy actually sent me that picture of the butthead, and he's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
it gets way worse than this. This is just the tip of the iceberg because it just goes bananas
Yeah.
after that."
Yeah, what's fucked up about that is that you see that and you're like, wow, they've gone, this is as far as they're going to take it, and then no.
I
They
do
take
think
it
though,
way further.
I think
Yeah.
it's very artful. I guess it's wild just to say when they have the wide shot
guess.
of all the bodies just formed together. I'm like, oh, that's kind of a very artsy fartsy but impressive shot.
Dude,
Yeah.
I think the whole third act of this movie, it's like a masterpiece in imaginative FX work.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Do you know
big
what I
time.
mean? Like, 'cause
Oh,
it's like,
yeah.
because you can like, kind of poke fun at the stuff that comes before it. But
Right.
when you get to this part of
This
the
part,
film,
it's
it is
awesome.
like overwhelmingly imaginative.
It's
and
shit
insane.
it's shit that you couldn't possibly think up.
Someone did.
Someone
though.
thought of it.
That's
Yeah.
the crazy
And
thing.
and
There's
Yuzna
just
Yeah.
imagery in
and
it that's
Rory
just, like,
Yuzna actually
striking.
commented on like the response, because this movie was released in 1989, but only in London and in Europe. The movie didn't see the States till 92, and he actually commented on that. He was saying that he said, I think
Society's
Europeans
not
are
ready.
more willing to accept the ideas that are in a movie. That's why, for example, Society did really well in Europe, and in the US it did absolutely nothing, where it was a big joke. And I think it's because they responded to the ideas in there, and I was totally having fun with them, but they are there nonetheless. So basically, he thinks Americans are can't have a good time and really accept movies like this. And I think seeing the reaction to, I talked about The Substance earlier, seeing the reactions to some folks to The Substance, I still don't think they're ready for movies like this or scenes like this. They're just they don't know how to accept them and just get completely grossed out instead of being impressed by, like you said, the technical marvel of just creating this with practical effects.
Yeah. It's so cool. It looks awesome. And this is where the movie won me over.
There's like a form to it too. Like, it's not just like a bunch of random shit. Like, it all makes sense within itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what's kind of impressive about it. I'm like, oh, like, this is really neat. Good job, Screaming Mad George.
Yeah, dude. So we see
He
where
does like weird shit like that in Nightmare 4. Do you remember at the end when the evil shall see itself and it shall die, and then like all the souls are
ripping his
like there's a
apart.
lot of that kind of imagery in that.
That's
Yeah.
that piece of Freddy, that big, when all the bodies are, like, all the faces are on his chest when they rip out his shirt. That's actually at the Museum of Moving Image in Queens. I've seen it. The actual practical. It's huge. It's so big. It's sick. It's a sick piece that they have there.
That is so
That's
cool.
like if I was ever just gonna steal something, that would be it.
Imagine having that. It would be so cool. It would be so cool.
You'd have to explain it to people when they came over, though.
Yeah, I
Like,
know.
if they're not a big fan of the franchise, you're just like, yeah, I own that. And they're like, well, why?
I feel like
Here's some reasons.
6 foot, Michael Myers, and people are like, why do you have that?
You do have that in your apartment.
Yeah.
Good. Love
Right in my
Bill
living
Shatner.
room.
Big fan.
Yeah. I am. Yeah.
Yeah. He has a mannequin in his living room and dressed up in the Michael Myers getup,
Yeah.
which is great because you got the original Halloween, like the first movie mask.
Yeah.
So it looks great.
Yeah.
But you walk into his apartment, and you just think someone's
Standing there.
like you're about to have the worst day of your life.
Yeah.
Does
It's
he
true.
ever scare you when you walk in?
No. I'm used to.
You're used to him?
Yeah.
Is he just like, hey, EJ,
Yeah.
rough day?
What's up? The eyes are like creepy though sometimes, because it feels like if you're the way you sit on the couch sometimes and you look over,
He's looking at you?
It looks like he's staring right at you. Yeah, it's pretty cool. But
I'm sure Robin really loves that.
yeah. Well, no, it's really funny because I also have that Chucky doll, and Robin. That's the thing that freaks her out. So she always turns it around.
Do you ever move it, like, slightly?
No,
You should do that. You should start doing
know,
that. Just start fucking with her.
I always want to, but I can't. She's
She's
too
too nice.
cool.
Ah,
My
She's too
Chucky
cool.
doll moves on its own, so I don't have to do that shit.
Yeah. Well, look at you.
Well, I paid a little extra for the possessed first.
yeah.
So, Billy breaks free and challenges Ferg to a one-on-one fight. And Fergie, he's
Very
pretty-
reminiscent of Doom Part 2.
Yeah,
Same fight.
same fight.
He says, let's do this mano a mano, and I love
yeah.
that.
He's
Anytime.
like, and if I win, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, whatever.
Cool.
So, they get into a fight, and Ferg is just like kicking his ass basically the whole time.
Yeah.
And just beating literally like Billy. Every time he gets up, he just punches him in the face, and Billy's like all bruised up. He looks like Rocky.
Yeah.
Actually,
And then-
do you know what it reminds me of? The fight at the end of 30 Days of Night.
Oh yeah. All right.
It has
I
that
can see
same kind of rhythm to it.
Yeah.
Because like Evan gets fucked up for like a good couple minutes.
Yeah.
And then he does do something completely absurd to get the upper hand. So
Yeah.
it's similar.
And that's
Hey,
what.
speaking of Josh Hartnett,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Billy.
It upsets me that Billy gets punched in the face repeatedly on the left side of his face, and then
Yeah.
when he goes to the ground, he's got a cut on the right side of his face. A little
Yeah.
bit of continuity that aggravated me, and I was like, oh, they could have. It's very simple. They could have done that. They could have fixed that, but no.
Yeah. Whatever. So Billy literally fists Ferg, like puts his hand up his butthole,
Yeah.
and then goes all the way up into his face,
Yeah.
and then pulls him inside out. And I love the commentary at the party. They're like, "Oh, he's inside out now.
Don't touch him.
He's inside out.
Don't touch him. He's inside out."
And then this happens.
It's our way.
And the mom, Clarissa, and Billy and Milo, they just like walk out. They're like, "All right."
They walk off the set.
They walk out.
All right, guys,
and then,
we're leaving now.
And then he pushes his dad. He goes, "Butthead." And then the movie ends. And I go, "Wait, that's where it ends? Like, there's no like I don't know."
Payoff?
See, I wish that when he called him a butthead, he just
Yeah.
looked right into the camera and shrugged his shoulders. That's me.
And they just drive off and they leave. And I'm like,
And then the credits roll.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Confused.
Let's go with our guest, David Gonzalez. So what did you think of this movie? Overall.
So, I'm obviously I lean more positive because I recommended it for the pod. Is it a great movie? Absolutely not. But it's a movie that I absolutely love rewatching, just to get to the final act. But I specifically it's become tradition to watch these movies with friends that have never seen this movie, or specifically friends that don't like horror, because by the time we get to that third act, you're just like I'm sitting there just looking at their face, and they're like, "What the fuck did you just put me through? I don't even want to speak to you anymore."
Friendships end.
I honestly, when I first started looking this movie up, the fact this movie is actually fresh on Rotten Tomatoes just shows that there's like a cult-like aspect that even critics can't completely shit on it. So
Yeah.
I think this movie, for some reason, I don't know if it's because it's more in my circle now, it's getting a nice cult following now, and a lot of more people that I speak to, even at press screenings now, they actually know what this movie is. So I guess it kind of shows that the lasting impact of the movie to a certain demo. And yeah, I mean, I think it's a cult classic. I absolutely enjoy watching this movie. It's an absolute banger of a fun time. It's not breaking the mold or doing anything different, but in terms of practical effects, it's one of the most underrated of the era, maybe of all time, because I don't think no one talks about this movie in terms of its effects, in terms of the outside of the cult classic aspect of it.
Yeah. It is. It's insane. Like I would, if you are like a special effects makeup artist and you're listening to the show, this is like a movie to watch just for that scene. To just, I think it's so inspiring in that sense.
Oh, it's for sure.
You know what I mean? Like, oh wow, like look at the effects on this. Yeah. Vince, what are your thoughts?
I'm still confused by it. You guys have tried to explain it to me. I think it's a play on the rich are sucking the poor dry.
Yeah.
But I feel like you didn't need an hour and 38 minutes to explain that to me.
I'm just living it every day.
I'm living it every day. I could just look at my taxes at the end of the year and know that the rich are sucking me dry. So I didn't need to sit through this. So fuck you guys.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a good review from Young Vince.
Yeah.
Love it. So the upcoming sequel, you guys will not be watching it. It's called.
No,
we're gonna live stream that shit right from your house, dude.
You guys
we're all
are
gonna
more
come
than
in the
welcome.
tent with you.
I have plenty of room for you guys. It was in development in 2013. It ended up not coming out, but the sequel is going to be called Society to Body Modification.
Nice.
Oh my god.
I'm bringing my pillows and my blankets. We're gonna build a bigger fort.
Let's go.
And not only that, but we're gonna watch it on Vince's birthday.
As a gift.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Rory, what are your thoughts?
I just think this is like such a unique movie, and kind of going along with what Dave was saying, I wasn't really aware of it. You know, but it seems like a movie I would be really aware of.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It would have been like in the wheelhouse if it was like available at Blockbuster.
Yeah,
or something.
Like when we
you know
were
what
kids,
I mean?
it'd
Like,
be something you'd see with your friends, and you're like, I'm gonna watch this the rest of my life.
yeah.
Because like when I was watching it, the thing that jumped out at me immediately was that it really does have like that dreamlike quality to it. And I was like, okay, like I can roll with it, because some of like the dialogue's a little strange, but it's like completely appropriate for like the tone of the film. Right. And then I feel like Brian Yuzna just put something into it. Like he wanted to be there. He wanted to make that movie, and there's so much imagination in it.
Yeah.
That third act is just like it's a master class in effects work.
It is. It really is.
And I do
like that.
And Rory,
What's that?
no, you guys mentioned. I'm sorry to cut you guys off. You guys mentioned the whole video store aspect of it. I am shocked that I didn't discover this movie at Blockbuster, because the cover of this movie, of the VHS box, is so eye-catching to me. It's something that I literally would pick up at Blockbuster and be like, all right, let's check this out. And it's very misleading. If you guys have seen the actual box art and poster to this movie, extremely misleading to what this movie actually is. So I'd be interested. I'm shocked that I never just grabbed it and watched it on VHS way back when.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how I feel too. And the fact that it wasn't on like HBO or Cinemax at all is kind of I don't know if it was, but I've never seen it. You know what I mean?
That's like probably what you were saying, Dave. I'm sure they were just like, no one wants to watch this here.
And they were wrong, because people like us, we want to watch.
Yeah, we want to watch the gore show.
Yeah. I want to see more shunting in movies.
No, I would say this. Like, I at one point while I was watching the movie, I was like, they will never make another movie like this again.
How could they?
You know what I mean? Well, just like that type of freedom.
Yeah.
Where they're just like, use your imagination, like just go crazy, and it's just like a really cool movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like like what you're saying. It's like it's not a perfect film, but I don't give a fuck. Because it sticks the landing really hard.
That's what
I was like just watching it, and I was amazed, and I used that word earlier in the show. Like it really felt like that. Like it just kept like reaching another level with the effects work, and I just felt like overwhelmed at some point where I'm like, what else are you gonna do? And there was a butt man.
There was a butt man.
And I was like, what is happening? And then he makes that noise. He's like, and I'm like, this movie. What is it?
I'm like, whoa.
But no, it's. I would say this. I would 100% recommend like any horror film fan watch this.
Yeah.
Just because you're not likely to see something like it ever again.
Right. No, especially, you know who would appreciate this a lot? I think Hellraiser fans.
Oh, sure.
You know what I mean? Because I feel like there's aspects of that kind of indulgence.
Would you also say like Nightmare on Elm Street fans?
Yeah, I would say so, because it has like the dream-like look, like cinematography, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that cloudy kind of thing going on sometimes, but like, and then the whole society, the shunting, feels like, you know, the dream world for sure.
Yeah.
But like, I would say for me, my opinion is like most of this movie, I was not really into it. But then that third act, or like the shunting aspect, I was like, this is awesome, and worth it just alone for that scene. I think, in my opinion, if you were to go back to change anything, I think like there is probably a better script that you could have gotten to that ending. You know what I mean? Like got the characters to that ending. But that's just my opinion. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like if someone came along and wrote, like, maybe, like, a stronger thing leading to it.
Let me challenge that, because I don't typically do this, but let me ask you a question. If somebody wrote a more traditional narrative leading up to that third act, would it be a special? Is it
That's true.
the
I don't know.
weirdisms of this film leading into that third act that makes it worth talking about? Because it certainly doesn't have a bland, like a screenwriter wrote it type of thing. Like, sometimes we use the term, like when we're talking about like Terrifier 2, it's got a real punk rock thing about it. It's just like, you know, it just felt like, it literally felt like Brian Yuzna's vision.
I agree with you, Rory. I think he was in the know. Like, he didn't hide the fact of what this movie was. And even though, like we talked about before, about how, man, this is like a psychological deconstruction, but in a more comedic way, in a more, it was still in the know. And then it kind of makes, it doesn't, in a weird way, it, as wild as the third act is, it kind of feels like it fits with the movie that we're watching. But if a movie was in a more, like, perfect example to me is, I love Get Out. I think Get Out is a fantastic movie. I think the screenplay is very, very witty, very smart. However, there's a third act, I don't want to spoil it, but there's a third act thing in Get Out that happens with brain surgery, and it just feels tonally uneven with the rest of the movie. It feels like it just turns into generic horror movie trope when the movie just Peele does such a good job of writing a script that focuses on a strong social commentary. So I think the fact that society stays tonally balanced, it's a very weak screenplay, do not get me wrong, but at least it's consistent with the satire of it all.
Yeah. It feels whole. Like the word I used before, like it's somebody's vision. You know? And I'm sure there were some directives up front where they were like, well, it's the 80s, and stick some teens in there.
They gotta be naked though.
They gotta get
We gotta get them naked.
There was the checklist, but I just think I am always gonna give it up to a movie that just like swings for the fences.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember what the budget was for Terrifier 2?
I
think it was
I don't think it was even $1 million, right?
$250,000.
Yeah, because my buddy my buddy's a producer on Terrifier 2.
What's that?
No, my buddy's a producer on Terrifier 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It was $250,000. Do you know what the budget was for this?
$2 million.
$2 million.
Wow.
You think they could have gotten better writers?
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
Here's a question I pose to you guys. Do you think this movie inspired Beverly Hills 90210? Because it started the year after.
Yeah.
Possibly.
I think it did.
Mostly the shunting.
I think that, well, it's funny because the sister, I was going on everyone's thing. I'm like, oh, what else did this person do? And the sister went on to do, I think, like 2 or 3 episodes of 90210.
Wow.
Jenny.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I don't know if like she just became friends with Ginny Garth because other Ginny Garth, like What I Like About You and like
she just
other
appeared
stuff,
in those.
She shows up in a lot of Ginny Garth things. So I don't know if they're just like best friends or something. I have no idea. But it is funny that you brought up 90210 because I thought that too. I was like getting that vibe.
Somewhere in my notes when we breezed past it, I did say something like, oh, here it is. I love the 90210 melodrama.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's in here.
And Billy had some like Ian Ziering vibes, I think, right?
I never saw 90210. So
what? How
sorry.
dare you? Okay.
There's a lot of shit. I'm watching these shitty movies. I don't have time to watch 90210.
R.I.P. Shannon Doherty.
Yeah, she was the best.
Yeah.
I love
and Charles
her.
Cyphers, for that matters. God damn it,
Yeah,
that sucks.
yeah. That was a bummer. I found out. I follow Sean Clark from
yeah.
And he shared something like late in the night, and I went, oh no way. And then but like him and with Charles Cyphers because he was his rap and stuff or agent or whatever. But I was like, oh, that really sucks.
Real nice guy when I met him.
Yeah, he's just awesome. He seems really cool. Yeah. But all right. One thing we like to do in this show is we like to do emojis as a rating system. Vince, would you like to go first?
I'll go first. I got a cigarette to represent a cigar because I still don't understand how he kept that thing lit. I have a basketball. I have a fist. And I have a tent because we pop in tents over here.
Yeah, that's right. Rory?
Skip.
Okay. We'll come back to you. How about you, David Gonzalez?
Okay, so I have... You put me on the spot here, but I got this one. So I have my phone up on the computer.
That's beautiful. I see it.
So it's a finger.
He's got the finger insertion with the OK. He's got the pointing finger with the insertion of the OK hand
and a squirt
with the squirty moisture.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that. Is that suntan lotion that's squirting?
Yes, that is absolutely.
Okay, good. Yeah. These boys are staring at their phones like a couple of
teenagers.
teenagers.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Mine's easy. It's the only thing I thought about
All day.
all day. No, mine is gonna be some lotion.
Just lotion.
Lotion. The
The lotion in the
MacGuffin of the film.
Yeah. So that's mine.
What do you got, Rory? He's still looking.
I have 10 fists.
Yeah.
You're missing
Hell
two.
yeah. Yeah, you're missing two.
It's all I'm going with. It's just going with some fists.
All right.
Not a lot of animal representation in this film. Normally, Dave, I like to point out all the good dog actors, cat actors.
There's some good seaweed that
The
Blanchard
seaweed
gets
really
thrown
did.
into.
I noticed that. It sticks out.
Yeah, it really does.
It's like it pops out the frame. Oh, that was one other thing before we blow past it. I like the usage of colors in this a lot. Like if you go into the house or some of like the scenes, like the color, what would you call it? Like
Palette? The palette
yeah.
or the tone of it, or
Yeah, like there's like there's a lot of really interesting usages of color and
I like what you
wardrobe
said
and
about
stuff.
the pure white, knowing
Yeah.
that shit's gonna get dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, emojis.
Yeah. So, now, David, if you have anything you would like to plug, any upcoming podcast or reviews that we should keep an eye out for.
Yeah, don't you have a podcast or something?
Yes, I do. So, nothing in the next 2 or 3 weeks, but we are finishing the month doing. I always like to do every August Hitchcock movies to celebrate his birthday. So this year we are doing North by Northwest and Rear Window, and then as Rory knows, because I sent him the calendar, once we turn to September, it is horror for the rest of the next 2 months. And while it's not anywhere in the near future, look out for a breakdown of 1989 horror, which is Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5, Halloween 5, and Friday the 13th Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. And we're also going to do Wes Craven's, Wes Craven's New Nightmare, 40th anniversary of Nightmare on Elm Street, 50th anniversary of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Alien 45th anniversary, and we are actually doing on my podcast as well the 30th anniversary of Society.
Nice.
Dave, I am pumped for all of those.
And where can people find your podcast?
Oh, yes. You can. I'm on Apple Music, Spotify, wherever you find your podcast there. And also should be in the next month starting coverage on the New York Film Festival. So you can find my coverage on the cinematicreel.com. And also my work on Rotten Tomatoes is there as well. So thank you again for having me. I really appreciate it. This was a great time.
Oh, my gosh. Thank you for coming on and doing
man.
it. You're hilarious.
You got us over the Skype hump too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I promise
Yeah,
next
this
time
is our
if I
first
come on next
Skype.
time, I will. This technical difficulties will not happen.
Awesome.
Oh no, it's all
awesome.
good.
Yeah, and then how about you, Vince?
I'll
Anything
plug-
you would like to plug?
Three Jacks Burger Bar. We sell
Yes.
burgers and stuff, deep fried pizzas, quesadillas, delicious drinks. $3 Jack and Coke.
Burger of the month?
Burger of the month is the Mary Moon. Veggie patty, mixed greens, corn salsa, and sriracha ranch dressing on a brioche bun, served with chips or chips for $14. That's all I got.
Cool.
Okay. Very cool.
I got Raven View Productions. It's the film production company being built up. It's how you're listening to these episodes. It all comes out
Exactly.
through there. We have Fourth Cut Reviews. Our buddy Chris Conforti, a genuine keyboard warrior. Our friend Will Perna's band, Variant Season. Fantastic rock music. If you feel like heavy music, they've got what's gonna be good for you. I don't know. Gravy Diggers.
Yeah.
Gravy Diggers pot pies. If you survive one, you're in a very small club, a society, if you will. NEPA Horror Fest is our buddy Jess Mione and Bob Keller's horror festival that they put on. They have something coming up in October. They're bringing in a bunch of the women from the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, which is super exciting. And then most importantly, fuckers, we got NEPA, Kitties of NEPA Pet Rescue. It's where I got my cat Ella, and it's a great place that you can look into to donate food. If you want to contribute anything to helping cats, that is where you should go.
All right.
Other than that, I got nothing.
Yeah. Well,
All right,
that's pretty good.
you're up, asshole.
Okay. First off, Comics on the Green. Shout out to our previous guest, Becky.
Casey and Becky.
Yeah.
And Dave.
Check them out. Yeah. A lot of good stuff down there.
If
Also,
you've got money and ideas, go check her out.
yeah. Also, check out music from Adam Farley's music on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes. Same with Chris and Lou's
Christopher
music.
Lou.
And also, last but not least, the new metal messiah, Jon
Snow.
Check out Eastern Tribute Collective on Facebook and Instagram, and you can see all their shows upcoming. And he
Big
is
one
not
coming
a
up at the
show
end
you
of
want
August,
to miss. Yeah. So, with that being said, thank you to our guest, David. Thank you so much for
why don't
coming
you
on.
plug our stuff?
Oh, I should, right? Like, I should probably plug our
Tell
stuff.
them where to find our stuff.
No, I don't. If they found it, they're here.
They're here already.
Yeah,
they're already here.
They're already here.
I see.
No. Check us out on iTunes,
Facebook,
Spotify,
Wherever you listen to your
Facebook,
podcast.
Instagram. Make sure to rate and review us.
Yeah,
It
give us
helps,
5
I
stars.
guess.
Yeah,
It helps us boost in the algorithm,
the algorithms. Yes.
which is important. And you can email us at freakquelpodcast@gmail.com. If you have
Singular.
anything you want to recommend
Good mail.
or have any questions, if you want to ask how we met, I'll tell you right now. Me and Rory, we all went to high school together. We were talking to girls, and we saw Vince getting bullied and pushed into a locker. And then we're like, oh, we should hang out with that guy. But like in 20 years.
Yeah.
And so that's how we became friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could have been friends 20 years ago. You could have saved me.
Right.
But you chose to let me get stuff in the locker, and then you waited 20 years.
Well,
for
we
the
were talking to
friendship.
like chicks and stuff, so we were like, "Oh, we'll get back to it."
So the real version of that story is that we were the ones bullying Vince.
Yes.
Giving him swirlies, beating him
Yeah.
up.
And we were like trying to convince him to join our society.
Yeah. He's been shunted.
We were trying to get him into shunting.
do love me a
He
good
wasn't
fisting.
into it.
Anyway.
Anyways, guys, thank you so much. Thanks to our guest. Please come back anytime you want, man. You were hilarious. So
Thank you. I'll come back whenever you
Knowledgeable and
want.
awesome. And then of course
Tomorrow, in about 2 hours, actually, we're going to do a
2
show. So
hours?
come on back. We're doing Death Spa.
Yeah. But thank you to everyone listening at home. We appreciate you guys. Thanks for coming in every week, listening to us babble on about movies and
Nonsense.
and being weirdos. So, guys, thank you so much for listening. And with that being said, thank you for listening to
Come shunt with us.